Hey, Haley, you've been avoiding me up until now, but you're definitely gonna come to the mom's lunch today. It's Saturday, so you can't use work as an excuse for not going. It gets better, though. I decided to have it at your house. Won't that be convenient for you? We'll be there at noon sharp. Right now, it looks like 10 people are coming. You can choose whether you want to make the lunch yourself or order out. It doesn't matter to me. Just make sure you get enough. Oh, and you know what? Actually, I'm in the mood for sushi. There's an amazing sushi place that just opened downtown. Why don't you order from them? Haley, what's going on? Why aren't you at home? Oh, is he? Good afternoon. Don't good afternoon me. You had better not be pretending to be out of your house right now. Okay, so I just took a look at the messages you sent me earlier this morning. I'm sorry to tell you like this, but our family is away on vacation today. What? We won't be back until tomorrow. What's the matter with you? You should have told me that way sooner. There are 10 hungry mothers waiting at your front door right now, expecting to eat expensive sushi at your lunch party. We left the house at 9 a.m. this morning, and we've been on the road until just now. I didn't even look at my phone until a few moments ago. Come on. Izzy, you can't just invite yourself and 10 other people to someone else's house for lunch, much less 3 hours before you plan to come. What's the big deal? It's Saturday. Yeah, that's why we're going on a little trip as a family today. And for the record, I do sometimes have to go into the office on Saturdays too. I've been telling you for a long time, Izzy. You need to give me plenty of advance notice if you want to make any plans involving me. Yeah, but even when I ask you in advance, you always say no. I work on weekends, Izzy. Of course I'm going to say no to a weekday lunch invitation. People who work regular office jobs can't just hop out of an extended lunch whenever they feel like it. You could take time off. It's not that easy. Sorry, Izzy, but we just got our food from the drive-thru, so we're going to get back on the road now. I gotta go. Hey, we're not finished here. I'm sorry, Izzy, but we'll have to talk about this later. Unbelievable. Do you have any idea how much money you cost me? Good evening, Izzy. I'm sorry, what did you mean? How did I cost you money? The lunch last Saturday. I told all the other moms that we were all invited to your house to eat sushi from the expensive new restaurant. But you completely blew me off and went on vacation with your family. So I got stuck taking them all out to have lunch at that restaurant instead. I had to pay for 10 lunches. Izzy, I think you're missing one very important detail. What detail? You are the one who invited everyone to my house without even talking to me about it in advance. I don't recall ever saying yes to that plan. I didn't even see your message until you were already there. And you're the one who wanted to eat sushi and expected me to pay for it. I think most people would take the complete lack of response as a pretty certain sign that the other person had not gotten the message, don't you? Oh my God, you are so selfish, Haley. Selfish? Me? You really don't get it, do you? Listen, babe, I'm what you call the boss around here. I'm the leader of the Moms Club. So all the moms in my circle are my underlings. They do what I say, when I say. What? You're the boss of the Moms Club? Yeah, what of it? I don't recall ever joining any club. And second of all, I don't recall ever agreeing to make you my boss. Was there an election or something that I missed? Shut up! I don't need an election to know I'm the boss. It's just the facts. I'm the leader of all the moms in the neighborhood, like it or not. Is that so? Yes, that's so. Got it? The next lunch is going to be at your house for real this time. Next Saturday. Be ready. Sorry, I can't do that day. Excuse me? You told me to give you an advance notice, right? Well, I just did, so make it work. My company's new employees are undergoing a series of training sessions, and I had plans to go and check in on how they're doing on Saturday. Are you kidding? Did you really think I'd buy that excuse? Those training sessions are for important people to deal with. You know, executives, managers, people who matter. What's some loser part-timer like you going to do there? You're just gonna be standing around in the back of the room watching everyone else do the real work? You'd only be getting in the way. What are you thinking? I'm not a part-timer. Wait, really? Okay, my bad. You're just a temp staffer then. Wrong again. Stop changing the subject. This Saturday, you're gonna host the mom's lunch at your house. And this time, you are gonna buy us all of the sushi we can eat. Do I make myself clear? I just told you, I have work and I can't do it. Oh, and just so you can't get out of your responsibility this time, I'll go ahead and order the sushi for you. You can pay me back later, and yes, you will pay me back every last cent. Okay, well don't forget that I already told you no. Hey there, Haley. We're having an absolutely lovely sushi lunch at your house right now. Although I have to admit, it's kind of weird that you're not attending a party at your own house. Huh? Wait a second. What do you mean you're having a lunch at my house? Are you actually in my house right now? How? I locked the doors when I left. Nope, we were able to get inside with no problem at all. It was so nice of you to leave someone here at the house to serve us. Who is this old lady? Your mom? Or your mother-in-law? Or just some woman you hired for us? Anyway, this was super nice of you to do. But just because you gave us a servant doesn't mean you're gonna get out of paying the $5,500 bill. What the? $5,500? I ordered enough for 20 people. You know, so I could have some leftovers for later. I have the old lady here pay for now, but you can pay her back when you get home. Don't keep her waiting, though. I doubt she has that much in her bank account. What in the world are you talking about? My husband took my son to the mall to play today, and I've been at work since this morning. So none of us are home, and the house should be empty. Yeah, I figured as much. And that's why you left this old lady here, right? Your mom or mother-in-law or whatever. I did no such thing, Izzy. My mother and my husband's mother. Both of them passed away before we got married. What? Wait. Huh? What are you not getting, Izzy? My entire family is out of the house right now. No one is home. So there shouldn't be any old woman, much less my dead mother or mother-in-law at the house right now. Hold on. So you're saying that woman who went and hid in the back room when we all came into the house, is that... Oh my God, your mom's a ghost. Oh my God, don't be ridiculous. There is no such thing as ghosts. That woman who's in the house with you, you said you made her pay for the sushi, right? Ghosts don't have money. I mean, they're not even real. Ugh, what are you, a third grader? Oh, yeah, that does make sense. Wait, so this was a prank? You're awful! You know I'm terrified of ghosts. I can't even watch horror movies. I get so panicked I can't sleep. How could you pull such a cruel prank on me? I wouldn't go to so much trouble to pull some elaborate prank like this on you. But that's beside the point right now. If you're really in my house eating sushi like you say, and some woman let you into my house, then that means someone was trespassing in my house. This is very, very bad. I gotta call the police. Yes, I'm 100% sure that we're in your house. Ugh, you're terrible. If you keep going from prank to prank like this, I'm gonna have a heart attack. How many times do I have to tell you I'm not pulling any pranks on you? You've got some nerve treating me like this on the day I'm celebrating my husband getting a new job. What? Your husband's new job? Yeah, isn't it great? He got scouted by some big shot marketing agency. So this week's mom's lunch is also a party for him. Wait, is your husband there with you right now? Well, duh, it's his party. Of course he's here. I see. And does your husband's name happen to be Stan? Yeah, but why does that matter? Okay, well then. What? Tell your husband he's fired. Fired? What is up with you? He's fired. How can you fire him? He doesn't even work for you. Actually, he does work for me. Huh? That big shot marketing agency you mentioned earlier, I'm the CEO. What? I told you that I couldn't host a lunch today because my company's new employees were undergoing a training session, didn't I? Your husband is one of the new hires who should be in that training session right about now. But he's never taken any of the training seriously at all. He's been blowing them off, taking long bathroom breaks, using his phone mid-session, and right now, he's absent without leave. I've been trying to contact him since this morning, but he won't answer his phone. Unbelievable. He was having a party to celebrate his new job. Wait, you're not making any sense. My husband was scouted by this company. Why should he have to attend some dumb training session? If he was scouted, doesn't that mean the company really wanted him to join? Trainings are for beginners. Sorry to break it to you, Izzy, but your husband wasn't scouted. What? I don't know what sort of story he's been telling you, but he got hired on as a part-timer, just like all the people at the training session today. No, he's a part-timer? He worked hard and proved himself. We have a system where part-timer employees can become full-time regular employees, but he's got to go through the process like everyone else. I'm going to talk to my husband. You wait right there. You were telling the truth. He quit his job at his last company because he could never get along with anyone else there. But he was too embarrassed to admit that he got hired into your company as just a part-timer, so he told me that he got scouted because of his impressive resume. Yeah, that's what happened. And like I just said, your husband's attitude at work was so painfully awful that I don't think he was ever going to make it as a part-timer. I was willing to give him more time to prove himself, but a no-call, no-show is just too much to overlook. I'm going to talk to his HR director right now and get his termination process started. Hey, wait, could you, I've got it. How about I make you the boss instead of me? So come on, please, don't fire my husband. You're gonna make me the boss? Yeah, just think about it. You'll be able to boss around all the other moms now. I would rather comb my hair with a rusty fork than do that. What? Oh, and one more thing, the police have been called. The police? I told my husband that there was an intruder in our house, so he rushed home from the mall to check on it. And when he got there, he saw our next-door neighbor desperately trying to escape from a window in her own house. Your neighbor? She was really panicked. She said that a bunch of women forced their way into her house and demanded that she pay for their sushi. So my husband let her borrow his phone and she called 911. Oh no. In your defense, our house is in a pretty new development area, so a lot of the houses do look very similar. Oh, don't tell me. I went to your neighbor's house by mistake? Yeah, that seems to be the case. Oh no, this is bad. Like really, really bad. What should I do now? Given your position, I guess you have no choice but to tell the truth. You got the address wrong and barged into some poor, unsuspecting elderly woman's house with a bunch of your friends. And you made that poor elderly woman pay $5,500 for sushi that you ordered. I think that covers everything that's gone on today. Did I miss anything? I can't believe this. This cannot be happening. Do you know how that sounds? That makes it sound like we're a bunch of mobsters. Well, if the shoe fits, you've got to do something, Haley. You're an adult, and you got yourself into this mess. So you're just gonna have to get yourself out of it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to work. Haley, don't go. It seems that an unmarked, silent police car had arrived at the front of our neighbor's house while we were texting each other, and the Moms Club was all taken away by the police before they even knew what was happening. After the dust had settled, our neighbor got right to work getting some justice for herself. She sued Izzy and her friends for the $5,500 she was forced to pay for the sushi, as well as punitive damages for the pain and suffering she experienced that day. Frankly, I thought she should have pushed for way more in damages. A little while later, Izzy and her husband divorced. Neither of them were determined to be capable parents, so their child was taken in by a relative. As for the rest of Izzy's mommy gang, they all met similar fates. getting divorced by their husbands or disowned by their families. I'll bet all of them are going to be regretting following Izzy's lead for the rest of their lives. So it seems like now the neighborhood will finally get some relief from their malicious hijinks. Thank God.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Rita, are you there? I have something extremely important to talk to you about. Is now a good time?
Good evening, Victoria. Is this about my husband, Bartholomew, by any chance?
Huh?
He's at your house right now, right? Or rather, you pretty much abducted him and dragged him there in broad daylight. You've got some serious nerve to get involved with the husband of one of your mom's friends. You were plotting to get your claws into my husband while chatting to me with your phony friendliness outside the kindergarten this whole time, weren't you?
Ah, I see. So, basically, you already know about mine and Bartholomew's passionate and undying love for each other?
Passionate and undying love? I think you mean your act of shameless betrayal and infidelity. Hearing you try to paint something so base and disgusting as something beautiful and pure is super creepy and genuinely makes me want to vomit. So I'd appreciate if you could refrain from doing that, at least while talking to me. Are we clear? Great.
Oh my God, you're horrible. I can't believe you're profane our love with your bitter, hateful words. Just because you're Bartholomew's wife doesn't give you license to say whatever you want to me, you know. You might be upset with me, but I'm still a human being. I'll never forgive you for this.
Why the hell would I care if you forgive me or not? Give me a break. No matter how much you dress up your words, no matter how harmless and innocent you try to make what you're doing sound, the bottom line is that you're engaged in an affair with a married man, and you should be ashamed with yourself. You're nothing but a cheap, two-bit cheater. You can say what you like, but you can't deny the fact that you're a dirty, low-life scumbag with no morals.
It's only normal you'd be upset after what happened, Rita. But you should know that me and Bartholomew are very, very serious about each other. It's just like they say, you don't choose who you catch feelings for, right? For all I care, you can get so angry and worked up that you turn bright red and steam starts coming out of your ears. But will it change anything? No. Me and your husband fell for each other, and that's that.
Whatever. Will you at least send him back here to me for now? We can't discuss where we go from here if he's hanging around your place all day.
Does that mean you're going to discuss divorce with him? Yippee!
Now hold your horses, Victoria. First of all, whether we divorce or not depends on how Bartholomew responds to the cat being dragged out of the bag. Besides, we have our daughter to think about too.
Woohoo! So it's decided then. Divorce, divorce, divorce. Yay! Yeah!
If thinking that makes you happy, then be my guest, sweetie. Anyway, will you send him back now? And we'll be stuck in a stalemate forever if you don't.
I suppose you do have a point. Okay, I think I can just about tolerate not being with my stallion for a little while, if it means getting him all to myself for eternity afterwards. Just don't go forgetting Bartholomew's heart belongs to me. Me and only me. Rita, do you have any idea how lonely I was all alone without my Bartholomew last night? I very kindly let you have him back for a little while, so I think you at least owe it to me to get these discussions out of the way promptly, so I can have him back as soon as possible. It might be a bitter pill to swallow, but it's about time you accepted the fact he no longer has any feelings for you whatsoever, and his heart belongs to me now. If you do anything to tear us apart, I'll never forgive you.
Bartholomew, where the hell are you? Can we just stop this crap already? I get that you got scared and escaped in a panic when you heard I found out about the affair. But this has been dragging on for way too long now. It's been 4 damn days already. How long do you intend on playing these stupid games for? Victoria said you're not at her place. You do know that you'll still be paying me for compensation whether we divorce or not, right? There's no way you're getting off the hook here, so why not just be a man about it and face the consequences of your actions? If you keep running away and ignoring me, I'll get my lawyer to charge you for even more compensation. Is that what you want?
No, please. Gah, just give me a break already, woman.
Wow, you finally replied. So you are still alive. Well, where are you right now?
Well, I'm staying in a business hotel near the station by 5th Street.
Wow, have you been staying there these whole last 3 days?
Yes.
And who's paying for your stay?
You are.
For God's sake, Bartholomew, you're unreal. Don't think you're getting any freebies out of me. I'll be adding every cent of what you spent on my credit card into the compensation.
No, please don't do that. I'm already struggling enough as it is. Oh my god.
If you're so worried about the compensation, I suggest you don't want anyone with half a brain would do. And hurry the heck up and get your ass back home, now.
Rita,
Save it. I don't want to hear it here. You can say anything you need to say to me when you come home. I want you back at this house within the hour. Do I make myself clear?
Okay.
Victoria, there's something I need to confirm with you.
Oh, well. Would you look at who it is? Do you have some good news for me, sweetie? Have you finally decided to divorce?
To be honest, that is most likely the direction things will be moving in. But before we discuss that, I've been doing a little independent investigation. You know, about yours and my husband's relationship. There are a few things that just didn't sit right with me after he confessed everything. To be more specific, I've been doing some digging about you, Victoria. I'd like to make sure there are no contradictions or discrepancies between what you tell me and what I found out. Would you mind answering some questions for me over messages while I take notes?
Sure thing, sweetie. Knock yourself out. Where shall we start?
First of all, I found out that you have a husband, and he's currently out of state on a temporary work placement. You're still not divorced, are you?
Huh? Well, yes. That's right. But don't worry, I intend on divorcing him as soon as me and Bartholomew get the go-ahead to tie the knot.
How long have you been seeing my husband?
I think it's been around a half a year now. That's when Bartholomew started dropping off and collecting your daughter from kindergarten, right? It was around that time that we started running into each other. And before we knew it, we'd fallen madly in love with one another.
It didn't just stop at kindergarten, did it? I know he was visiting your house from pretty early on, too. Where was your son when my husband was there?
I left him with my parents. They live on 6th Street and love watching over little Tommy. You see, my mother-in-law has always been a hard-faced old bat with me, but she spoils Tommy like it's no one's business. She's probably lonely with her son being out of state for work, because she always jumps at the opportunity whenever I ask her to babysit. I almost feel like I'm the one doing her the favor. She's been a lifesaver when it comes to arranging steamy fun time with your husband.
I guess I am at least relieved you haven't been exposing your son to your depraved behavior. Every cloud has a silver lining and all that. But I can't help but feel bad for your mother-in-law.
Huh? Why on earth? She doesn't need your sympathy.
Why not? You're using her as a tool to enable an affair with another woman's husband.
Don't be ridiculous, Rita. It wasn't like that at all. Actually, I planned this out so that everyone would benefit in the end. Listen to me. Everything I've done has been carefully contrived to ensure that when I marry Bartholomew and divorce my husband, he gets full custody of Tommy. Think about it. I never have to worry about looking after him again, and the boy gets to be with his favorite side of the family. Everyone wins. It might seem strange to you, but this is my way of showing Tommy I love him.
That's so messed up. I don't even know where to start. So it's fair to say you plan on fully abandoning your custodial rights to your son then?
Yes, exactly. Me and Bartholomew plan on having lots of children of our own one day. The last thing I need is a leftover kid from my last marriage getting in the way of our happiness, you know?
I see. All right, I understood. Thank you for your honesty. There don't seem to be any contradictions here.
I told you, didn't I? Me and Bartholomew are in love, and that's all there is to it. In his eyes, I see the stars above. My heart beats for him, my dearest dove. Oh, I can't wait for us to start our new lives together.
You can keep your creepy, vomit-inducing love poems to yourself, thanks. To be honest, I could care less about how you feel for each other. The only reason we're having this conversation is so we can reach a settlement on the affair, and I can put all this crap behind me.
Oh, stop it, Rita. Why do you have to be so salty and bitter about all this? I'm trying to work with you on here. There are no hard feelings, you know. He just chose me over you. That's all. I don't see why there's any need for all this hostility. Me and Bartholomew are...
I don't want to hear it. We'll never agree on this, so let's just agree to disagree and save ourselves a bunch of unnecessary trouble. To be honest, you're kind of annoying.
And you're a big, horrible meanie.
Anyway, you'll be receiving a visit from my lawyer over the coming days.
Huh? Your lawyer?
Yep, my lawyer. I figured it'd make more sense to leave the compensation to a professional, even if it is going to be a little costly. In the end, I can take his fees out of the compensation anyway.
I suppose that makes sense. In any case, I'm not worried about the compensation. I have a feeling that a certain someone will take care of it all, my share included. I think you probably know who I mean.
Is that so? Interesting. Anyway, I just had that certain someone sign the divorce papers and booted him out of the house.
Huh? Wait a second. What?
It's your turn to take him in now. Good luck.
Hang on. I don't even... Wait. Surely you should be the one being booted out.
Of my own house? Don't be ridiculous.
The house belongs to you? I see. Actually, you know what? It's fine. Whatever. Bartholomew will be mine forever and ever from here on out. So what do I care if we have to let go of a poxy little house?
Goodbye, Victoria.
Hey, Rita. Thanks a bunch for finally divorcing my man. You're a star. Bartholomew just got done paying my share of the compensation. Not only that, but he also agreed to pay child support for Tommy when my ex-husband won full custody of him. In just 100 days' time, me and my hunky stallion will be officially married. Oh, I can't wait. Rita, I finally got my knight in shining armor. This is every girl's dream. Toodles, sweetie pie. Hello, Victoria. I have the most amazing news. Me and Bartholomew officially got married today. Sure, we might have been officially together for a whole 3 months now, but I must say, there's something truly magical about having that ring on your finger. We're so happy. It's like a dream, a fairy tale.
Did you really go out of your way to unblock me just to brag about getting married? That's kind of sad. I guess I may as well ask you if this is you unblocking me.
What? Oh, this should be good. Go on, sweetie. What is it? What is it?
Where are you guys living these days?
In the same apartment I've always lived in. My ex-husband took Tommy to live with his parents, so I stayed and carried on living here as normal.
Wow, you stayed there?
Yep, and this is where things get really good. Now, me and Bartholomew can finally start our married life, full of joy, romance, love, and passion. We both got disowned by our parents and told never to contact them again. But I guess it's a small price to pay for a true love as special as ours. It's kind of romantic when you think about it, right? The love that overcame all adversity. They should make a movie about us.
Damn, well, this is awkward. Victoria, there's something you should know. Your ex-husband told me this when they took Tommy to live with his folks after the divorce, but that apartment is being rented in his name. And you have a deadline to be out at the end of this month.
Huh? What?
Did you change the name on the tenancy or something?
The name on the tenancy? Wait a second. I don't think we went through any procedures or anything. I just kind of carried on living here.
If you don't know the details, wouldn't contacting the landlord and asking him be the intelligent thing to do? You know, since your entire living situation depends on it.
Oh no, we have to be out by the end of the month? This just won't do. I have to tell Bartholomew about this, and we need to find somewhere else to live. But really, this is exciting. You know, it's not every day a girl gets to move into a new apartment with her new husband. I know. I'll flutter my eyelashes and get him to buy us one of those new luxury high-rise apartments near 8th Street, with the view overlooking the bay.
Sure. Go ahead, Pumpkin. You're free to do whatever you like. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to mention.
What is it?
What exactly did you have your sights on when you got your claws into my ex-husband?
Huh? No. It wasn't like that at all. He might make $150K a year, but that's not important to me. I just wanted to marry my darling so we could be together forever.
Huh? $150,000 a year?
When two people are madly in love like we are, money is insignificant. The fact that he makes $150,000 a year is just an added bonus to our love. Or rather, it just so happens that the man I fell for is also filthy stinking rich.
Victoria, I'm the one who makes $150,000 a year.
What?
I did think you seemed a little confused about some things, but I had no idea you'd make a misunderstanding of such epic proportions.
Wait a second. What are you talking about? No way. This can't be. You work a regular part-time job, right? How could you possibly make that much money?
Sure, I do work part-time on the register at a supermarket, but my family runs a lucrative real estate business with properties extending across the whole country and with offices abroad. I help out with the management of the estate branch.
A real estate business? And what's Bartholomew's role at the company?
He doesn't have anything to do with it. Not only that, but he's pretty much unemployed right now.
Unemployed?
The company he'd been working for these last 10 years went bankrupt after a whistleblower blew the lid on some shady borrowing practices 10 months ago. What with the way the world's been going recently, he said he wanted to use his redundancy as an opportunity to get into working from home as a freelancer. The early days were always bound to be rough. Everyone knows it takes time to establish reliable contracts as a freelancer, so I never expected him to start raking in the big bucks immediately. Fortunately, I made more than enough with my real estate work, so support us both. We'd agree he'd increase his share of the housework and looking after our daughter in return for me supporting him while he looked for work. Things went great at first, but then he met you and started having an affair. And to make matters worse, he started using the time he should have been putting towards looking for work to meet up with you in secret. As a result, he continued to contribute precisely nothing to the family finances for several months on end.
Oh my God, no way. You mean Bartholomew still doesn't have a job?
I don't know for sure, but surely if he lives with you, you'd know if he was working, since he's supposed to be working from home and all.
Oh my God, but I never seen him do anything that looks like work. Ugh, this can't be. So what about my share of your compensation? What about the child support payments to my ex-husband? How did he pay for all of that?
I have no idea how he came up with the compensation or how he continues to keep up with the child support payments, but there is one thing I'm confident about. He's up to his ears in debt.
Debt?
Which is why I have a feeling you guys are going to be in serious trouble if you don't both start working soon.
You mean he lied to me about making $150,000 a year?
I can't categorically state that he was lying.
Why not?
Just before we divorced, I asked him if you ever asked him about his salary or whether he ever told you anything about how much money he makes. And sure enough, he told me you asked him how much he brings in per year just before you started the affair.
Yes, that's right. He told me he was making $150,000 a year.
You see, the figure he gave you was actually his household income.
Household income?
This was just after he lost his job at the company and was still trying to get established as a freelancer working from home, which meant he was barely making anything. Naturally, he was never going to admit that to you, so he probably felt like he had no chance but to answer with our household income. But that's not important to you, right? You truly love each other, so whether he has money or not is of no importance, right?
Oh my God.
Your love for him is so pure that you'll accept him regardless of his financial situation, I'm sure.
So not only does he have no money, but he's also unemployed and up to his ears in debt? I can't believe this is happening to me.
And good luck with paying off his debt as a couple.
No way. This all has to be some kind of sick joke, right? No!
I can't believe Victoria actually thought Bartholomew made $150,000 a year. It's both tragic and hilarious in equal measure. Something tells me him paying her share of the compensation and covering the child support payments to her ex-husband were instrumental in pulling the wool over her eyes. But later on, after doing some asking around, I found out he got a hold of that money by going into debt with his friend, who was a successful stock market trader. Apparently, Victoria tried to lure his affluent friend into bed when she found out about his riches. But unlike Bartholomew, his friend had a sense of honor and dealt with the shameless gold digger in seconds. Naturally, he told Bartholomew about what his wife had tried to do behind his back, and before long, the two of them got a divorce. Apparently, Bartholomew demanded she pay him back every cent of what he paid to cover her share of the compensation and child support as one of his conditions for the divorce, resulting in Victoria ending up in tens of thousands of dollars in debt. Hilariously, she begged her ex-husband to take her back in desperation, and Bartholomew pleaded with me to give him a second chance. But of course, we both refused. Both of them got disowned by their parents, too. Last I heard, they're both working like dogs while living in rundown, cockroach-infested apartments in soul-crushing isolation to keep up with their debt repayments.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Good morning, Alyssa. Are you working this morning too? I heard your husband Henry is a high-flying banking executive. Is it true? Surely you don't have to work so hard when your man's bringing in that much money. I fail to see why you'd be so desperate to sacrifice yourself as a corporate cannon fodder cubicle slave to a company that couldn't care less about you. If I were you, I'd be pouring all that energy into being the best stay-at-home housewife there ever was to make sure Henry had all of his needs provided for, if you catch my drift. If it was me, I'd sure as heck wouldn't be slacking on my womanly duties like you are. Oh, Henry is just so dreamy. He's so wasted on good-for-nothing corporate livestock like you. How on earth did you manage to bag yourself such a high-quality guy in the first place? I fail to see what he sees in you. If he's truly honest with himself, I'm sure he'd probably rather have a loyally devoted stay-at-home housewife like me as his wife. Good morning, Christine. Reading through your deluded fantasies first thing in the morning is so disgusting it's making me want to throw up. So would you kindly stop spamming my message box with your hate? Thanks. Huh? Disgusting? How dare you speak to me like that? Henry says he'll always love me whether I work or not. Oh dear, would you look at that? She accuses me of being delusional while coming up with ridiculous fantasies of her own. There's no way any man would ever say that, darling. Everyone knows men only look for two things in a woman: big boobs and good cooking. Are you sure all that working hasn't fried your neural circuits? You really should think before you speak sometimes. A high-flying stud like Henry, happy with a working wife? Now I've heard it all. My train will be arriving at the station soon and I have to make it to work, so I gotta go. Goodbye. Oh, how sad. You're such corporate livestock, you don't even have the freedom to message when you want to. That can only mean you probably don't have enough time to talk to your husband either. Oh dear, that poor man. Henry must be really lonely and sexually unsatisfied with you as his wife. If it was me with that ring on my finger, I'd become a stay-at-home housewife and listen to his troubles until the early hours. I'd be there for him whenever he needed me, his solid, dependable rock, his shoulder to cry on. Listen, Alyssa, don't you think it's best for Henry that you divorce him? At this rate, he'll be stuck with you for the rest of his life. Truly a fate worse than death.
Hey, Alyssa. I'm taking a late lunch break right now. What was that woman's name again? You know, the annoying one from kindergarten.
Huh?
You know, the one you said was a pain in the ass to talk to. The one who keeps insulting you, calling you stuff like corporate livestock, bugging you all the time with random hate-filled messages.
Oh, Christine?
Ah, that's it. So that was her name.
Did something happen with her?
Well, she's been waiting in the lobby of the bank all morning. She's only just left.
Jesus, are you kidding me? You mean she showed up to your workplace at the bank by the station?
Yeah, she was here until about an hour ago. I had a suspicion that was who she was, so I didn't go over and speak to her myself, but when I asked one of my coworkers to go over and see what she wanted, apparently, she pretty much ignored everything he asked her while staring at me as I dealt with another customer before suddenly getting up and walking out.
Wow, incredible. She must really have a lot of free time on her hands.
Is that all this is?
Gah, nope, no. I think there's actually more to it. I wasn't sure whether I should tell you about this, but if she's doing weird stuff like showing up at your workplace now, I think it's for the best that you know.
Know what? What is it?
I think Christine might be trying to steal you from me.
Steal me? From you?
She just showed up at your workplace, right? I think that from now on, at least for the foreseeable future, you should operate under the assumption that you're being stalked.
Wait, what? Seriously?
Yep, I'm serious. To tell you the truth, she's been sending me lots of messages recently that would indicate that's what she's trying to do. To be honest, a part of me suspected she might do something crazy, but I guess the rest of me didn't want to accept it. Then finally, the other day, I got a message that made it as plain as day that what she's trying to do here is cause me and you to get a divorce.
Man, I can't believe this. Christine, seriously? She's about as far away from being my type of woman as could possibly be. Look, to tell you the truth, I hate girls who act the way she does.
I know that, which is why I know there's no danger of you ever looking at her in that way, and honestly, I'd be happy just to ignore her if she didn't cause anyone any problems. But if she's already doing crazy stuff like showing up at your workplace while you're on shift, we might have to start proceeding with a little more caution.
I'll tell you what, babe. I'll explain the situation to my boss so that if she shows up again, he can be ready this time. Let's just see how things play out for now.
Yeah, good idea. It'll help if your coworkers know what she looks like. I'll be on my guard too. I'll let you know if she says anything else, okay? Sorry for keeping this from you, Henry. I just didn't want to bother you is all, but I never expected her to start acting like this.
Don't worry about it, Alyssa. I totally understand why you didn't tell me. All right, I have to go. Catch you later. Alyssa, that woman is totally insane.
What happened?
It's Christine. She started working at the convenience store across the road from the bank.
She started doing what?
When I went to the store before work to grab some sandwiches and a drink for my lunch, I was browsing the sandwiches when she slithered around the corner from behind me all of a sudden, wearing one of the store uniforms. Then positioned herself between me and the sandwich counter so we were facing each other head on, and there was like 1 centimeter between us, and stared at me intently with the creepiest, most spine-chilling smile I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God, that sounds like something out of a horror movie. Wait a sec. So she suddenly has a job after calling me corporate livestock all this time? At a convenience store, no less?
Hey, that's a good point. Do you think she knows?
I'm guessing she started working there because she doesn't. I'm going to do a little digging. Will you carry on keeping an eye on her for the time being? Make sure she doesn't notice you if you can avoid it, though. It's important we don't let our guard down here. There's no telling what she might do next.
Got it. You're right, Alyssa. You too, babe. Stay safe.
Hey, Alyssa. If I told you my plan to get closer to Henry was going amazingly well, what would you say? He is such a sweetheart. Can you believe he's been using his breaks from work to come and see me? But when I stare deep into his eyes, he gets embarrassed and averts his gaze. Isn't that the sweetest thing? My Henry is the cutest. I bet you never get to see his Tinder side like that, do you? Are you jealous? Go on, you are, aren't you? It's okay to admit you're in pain, honey. Anyone would be in your situation. Love is the most amazing thing. I don't need to hear any more about your absurd delusions, thanks. Excuse me? Listen, Alyssa, it's becoming increasingly obvious to me now that you don't know your place. Should I put you out of your misery and tell you? My place? You seem totally oblivious to it, but you should know that you're already well on the way to being divorced by a hunky Henry and living a life of despairing isolation and poverty as a single mother. The wheels are in motion, my dear, and there are no brakes on this train. As for me, my future as Henry's wife is already a dead certainty. Everyone knows that to have a rich, handsome husband is the ultimate status symbol for any woman. Basically, soon I'll have reached the peak of female excellence, and my status will be higher than all of the moms at kindergarten put together. And obviously, this part should go without saying, but it's your job as the lowest IQ moron of all the moms at kindergarten to follow my orders and do exactly as I say. That's why I hereby order you to divorce your husband. Hand him over. He's mine. Wow, this is really quite something, Christine. You know, just because you just got divorced yourself doesn't give you the right to go around trying to get your claws into other girls' guys. Huh? What the hell? What are you talking about? Me? Divorced? I didn't get divorced at all. No. That's not how this goes down at all. What's actually going to happen is that once mine and Henry's engagement is official, I'll be filing for divorce with my husband, but not a moment before. That convenience store across the road from the bank Henry works at, you started working part-time there a little while ago, right? Huh? How do you know that? According to my conversations with the other staff who work the same shift as you at the store, you've been going around seemingly half bragging about how your husband divorced you when he found out you had another boyfriend, and how you didn't have a choice but to pay him every cent of the compensation he demanded from you in court. You told them all about the circumstances leading up to your divorce with such boldness and forthrightedness that it almost seemed like you were proud of it. The reason you suddenly got a job after ridiculing me for God knows how long for being a working woman while extolling the virtues of being a stay-at-home housewife is because you suddenly owed your ex-husband massive amounts of compensation after the divorce and no longer had anyone to support you. You had no choice but to get a job and actually support yourself for a change, right? No. Oh my God. Wait a sec. How did you... That's not all. You were constantly bragging about how your new boyfriend worked at the bank across the road. You wouldn't have happened to have been talking about my husband, Henry, would you? It's actually impressive that you're still totally oblivious to how much you disgust him. To quote him, "She makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end." Your visits to the bank have even gotten so bad that his co-workers have been forced to talk to you several times and are now considering banning you from the premises entirely. And yet you still don't have a clue how unwelcome you are, do you? No. You hold your horses for just 1 second, Missy. What the hell is this? Those were all personal conversations held in the privacy of the convenience store staff room. How would you know about them? You don't even work there. Yep, I knew it. You don't know, do you? I guess it was only a recent development. What was? I'm the area manager for every single store in the region. Huh? The hiring of part-time and temp workers is still down to the store manager, so I don't have any say in that. But come to think of it, I still haven't shown my face at the store while you've been on shift, have I? Area manager? Wait, I've heard that title before. Aren't they even more important than the store manager? And it's you? Yep, it's me. In other words, I'm your boss. What? This is some kind of joke. You cannot be serious. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. You're fired. What the heck? Where did that come from all of a sudden? Listen, Christine, the thing is, I've been receiving constant complaints from the store manager about how you have an awful attitude and refuse to do any work at the store. You were so busy bragging about your alleged boyfriend working at the bank across the road that you thought you were above doing anything else, like you were somehow exempt from doing the job you were literally just hired to do. You even went as far as harassing Henry's co-workers at the bank when they stopped by the store to buy their lunch by aggressively trying to extract information about my husband from them. Don't even get me started on when Henry himself came in. You followed him so closely you may as well have been glued to him. You weren't only reported to the store manager by your coworkers, but you even made other customers feel uncomfortable with your creepy, unacceptable behavior. Me? Reported to the store manager? I had him check the surveillance cam footage, and sure enough, your conduct at work was horrendous. So after stopping by for a meeting with the manager, we decided that you stepping down was the only realistic solution, because we sure as hell couldn't let you carry on working there. Oh my God, you're horrible. To think you're abusing your powers as area manager just because Henry is about to leave you for me? This is disgusting. All of you in court for this. That's your response to everything I just told you? Seriously? I guess I shouldn't be surprised after everything, but you still somehow managed to astound me. You should know that Henry has zero intention of leaving, nor divorcing me. Huh? What do you mean? Don't be silly. Of course he does. How can you still not get it? I literally just told you. You've been causing Henry a world of trouble, and he is sick of you. Me? He's sick of me? Want some proof? How about the fact he's barely been stopping by the store since you started stalking him every time he showed up? You must have noticed he hasn't been around as much, right? He hated you following him around so much that he started getting his coworkers to pick up his lunch instead of having to face you himself. What? No, but Henry loves me. Anyway, you'll probably receive official notice from the store manager soon. You're fired. We won't be needing you to show up for your shift tomorrow. No way! But I worked so hard to get this job, and I need the money. I just got divorced, goddammit. My husband even took custody of our son. My life's a dumpster fire, for crying out loud. I am barely managing to get by as it is. And now you're saying I'm fired? Ugh. I don't want to have to look for a new job. I worked so hard to get this one. In that case, you should have worked a little harder to keep a hold of it instead of using it as an opportunity to stalk my husband. Make no mistake, the reason for your dismissal is the continued refusal to do even the bare minimum of work. If you'd just done your job and not stalked my husband, I would have had no issue with keeping you on. But you're the area manager. Surely all it will take is one word from you and this whole thing would go away, right? Excuse me? Me and you were friends, right? We became best friends after meeting outside the kindergarten. Your husband took full custody of your son, did he not? Huh? Which means our kids, our initial point of contact, no longer serve as a medium through which I am forced to continue our relationship. I'll never have to tolerate you outside of kindergarten again, and I gotta tell you, Christine, I am super relieved by that. What? You're relieved? All right, I think we're done here. Alyssa, please wait. I can't cope on my own. I mean it. I'm all alone and I don't know what to do. See ya. I was shocked to discover the reason Christine initially got the hots for my husband is because he was the bank clerk who helped her make the compensation payment to her ex-husband after he divorced her. Henry, being good at his job, was naturally very friendly and polite to her and kept a smile on his face throughout the whole interaction. Christine, being completely insane, mistook that as him having a crush on her. When I asked Henry about it, he said he didn't even remember it. Eventually, Christine, after having her life smashed into smithereens by the mother of all deluded misunderstandings and an unhealthy obsession with other women's husbands, had no choice but to move back in with her parents in the middle of nowhere. However, around the same time, she got wind of the news that her first ever boyfriend had just divorced his wife. True to form, of course, crazy Christine interpreted this as him wanting to rekindle their old flame and spend the rest of his life with her. With that, she launched a stalking campaign so intense, it made what she did to Henry look like a warm-up. She lay in wait outside the poor guy's house every night before trying to force her way inside with him when he got back from work. When that failed, she crammed his postbox full with thousands upon thousands of love letters. Eventually, he was so terrified he got the police involved, leading to a restraining order being put out and Christine having to pay thousands of dollars in compensation. Before long, the whole town knew about her insane shenanigans, and her parents were forced to kick her out due to the shame and embarrassment. I have no idea where she is now, and to be honest, I couldn't be more pleased about that.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.